Greetings, my friends. It is I, Dr. Jimmy, and right here is Lenny the Wonder Cat again. Welcome to our conservatory. It is time for cocktails again. It's that time of day or night. Oh, look! My goodness! It's light! Ah! Ah! Yes! That terrible light that was flickering and going bad. I got rid of it. And I have illumination, yes, lamp. I love lamp, yes. Much brighter now. Almost too bright. I have to keep my hat on for it now. It's a very good reason to keep it out of my eyes. Oh, bright, bright light. There's a gremlin. All righty, so don't feed me after midnight. Well, here we are again. It is... What the hell day is it? Oh, it's Friday. Friday the 2nd of August. August 2nd of 2019, which means it is only 5 weeks to Halloween Horror Nights now. Exactly 35 days. In 5 weeks from today, we shall be enjoying the wonders of Halloween Horror Nights 29. Ha ha. And I apologize. It had been pouring rain all day in this room with its metal roof. My conservatory does have a tin roof, rusted. Yes, just like the old Love Shack song, if you're old and remember the heyday of the B-52s. But Kitty is so much wants attention. Nice, Lenny. I have to keep petting her. But anyway, pardon me. But I'll have something to wet my whistle in a moment, yes. Oh, but, yes, I had wanted to make a lot of videos, including one all about what's happening in Osaka. We'll have to wait on that one. It was raining so loudly I couldn't do anything during the day at all. Fortunately, it has abated just a little bit. Enough that I can make a lovely cocktail video, and I don't fall any further behind in that regard. So this will be my 3rd house cocktail video for Halloween Horror Nights 29. Oh, of course. You want to see? It's Hellraiser, yes. Hellraiser. This is one of those lovely shirts they have at the Fright Rag shop. Very lovely. In case you were wondering what was on my bosom. All righty then. So, the 3rd cocktail would be for the 3rd announced haunted house, and as you recall, the 3rd one they told us about was Universal Monsters, based on the classic Universal horror cycle that began really in the 1920s with Quasimodo, Sanctuary! Yes, but you didn't hear him because it was a silent movie. Yes, Quasimodo. And, of course, he didn't hear you either because he's deaf. Those bells, so loud. And, of course, the Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom... No, don't sing that silly thing. It's not the Andrew Lloyd Webber. Again, silent movie. Silent. It's Lon Chaney. The original Lon Chaney, not his son, who was actually named Creighton, but took the name Lon Chaney after his dad passed away, and he picked up the mantle of Man of 1,000 Faces, although he really only had 3 or 4. The father had lots of different looks, as they say. Ooh, that's a good look, spelled L-U-E-W-K. I don't know what people are doing with texting nowadays and their funny spelling. In my day, we just used numbers and letters instead, like Prince, you know. I would die for you, way back in the ancient history known as the 1980s. So we were silly too. All right, so old people say the kids today are all crazy. Well, we were crazy too. Every generation forgets how insane they were when they had raging hormones, because when those dry up and you become sane, you look at kids and say, my God, what's wrong with them? You were just like them yourself, only, oh my God, 40 years ago? Dude, damn. Yes, 40 years ago when I was a teenager. Oh, I'm old. Oh my God. I don't feel that old. Anyway, but we have over here the lovely Universal Classic Monsters. Of course, we know most best the ones that started in the 30s. Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy, the Bride of Frankenstein. Maybe the Invisible Man, his bandages. I don't know. I don't know if I see that coming. I've done that joke before. And, of course, the creature from the Black Lagoon. A bit more recent, in the 50s, that one. Not the 30s, but still. The wonderful cycle of Universal horror movies that saved the studio and are a backbone of the entire company in a weird way. And I hope they perpetuate them. And it looked like less and less was at the parks of these monsters. And I was thinking, oh no, they took away the Beetlejuice show, and now they just have the Monsters Cafe. And will they lose that too? But then, a glimmer of hope in a flash of lightning and thunder. Just the other day, in fact it was yesterday, they announced Epic Universe. Oh my, because a universe is bigger than a world. My goodness, you'll get the Nobel Prize for that observation. And, yes, and apparently this park, which will open sometime long after I'm dead, no, not that long, hopefully 2023, by then I'll be 60. Oh, my God. But at any rate, if I'm still breathing and still physically able, I'll enjoy that, especially because in that lovely map they showed you, in the upper left-hand corner, is something that looks suspiciously like Transylvania. Ha ha! Oh dear, I hope it is. I really hope it is some sort of Universal Classic Monsters land. Ooh, I want that. I'll stay alive for 4 more years and endure whatever madness happens, and hopefully no one blows up the planet before then. And global warming won't drown us all. And hurricanes, and I'll be living on the island of Central Florida then, as all of Miami and Jacksonville are under the water. But we'll be alive here in Central Florida, and we can make it to Universal and enjoy that wonderful new part of the park, which I hope is real. There's just a little tantalizing imagery that looks very much like something spooky, so I hope it is what we all hope it is, because they haven't announced a damn thing yet. They just showed, we're going to call it Epic Universe, here's some pictures, we ain't going to tell you what anything is yet. Ha. But hopefully. But we don't have to wait till 2023 to see our Universal Monsters at the park, because they have their house this year, rumored to be in Building 108, the new parade warehouse where they had scenes of extinction last year. So, to come up with a cocktail for this house, I was thinking, what could I do? I did a Universal Monsters cocktail once before, back in 2011. It was a sort of, tried to get something that was black and white, like black and white movies, because the house attempted it. Remember, that was the one they called Universal's House of Horrors, back in 2012, when they had to get another house in the event when they had some trouble with the Chupacabra house, or the place they're going to put it in, getting torn down to make a Transformers attraction where it used to be. And they had to find another place, and they weren't going to use the parade warehouse. That was the old one, Building 79 that year. Then they said, well, we'll do it anyway, even though there's still floats in there. We'll use the other end of the building and go in from the other side. And sure enough, they were able to do it at the last bloody minute and put together this little house that used some of the dead exposure strobe light effects with Universal Classic Monsters. And for something they threw together at the last minute out of Scotch tape and bubble gum, and the paint was still wet when you went in on opening night in 2012, and not all the props are in the rooms yet. It was quite astounding. Nevertheless, it was a very effective house. Wonderful. I loved it. It was one of my favorite houses in 2012, actually. Yes. So it was also one of the first years I ever came up with the cocktail idea. I think I started in 2011, actually. So in coming up for the cocktail in 2012, and I was still going to Finnegan's Bar and Grill back then and using their ingredients, I chose the idea of, that's cat is showing off and being picturesque and posing for us like, Electra on Pose. House of Wind purr. If you watch the program, you get that. Yes. Work! Work! You better work, bitch. Yes, she's a queen. Oh, well, she is trans. I mean, she's a girl, but she's named Lenny. Trans cat. No, that's probably offensive to somebody. She does have gender issues, just like Bob did. That's why we give them boy names. All right, but it's more the other way, female to male rather than the. Anyway, okay. Enough of that silliness. Oh, where was I? She was trying to climb up on something that would knock stuff over, but that's what cats do. It's their prerogative. All right, where was I? I've gotten myself all messed up in my head. Oh yes, Universal Classic Monster Cocktail from 2012. I went to Finnegan's and they had various liqueurs like Godiva, dark chocolate and white chocolate and something else, Kahlua or something, to make different shades of like brown and black and white to create a sort of a gradation, try to make it sort of gray and white and black, so it looked, like my hat, as stripes sort of, trying to get it just right so it would look a little bit like something black and white. Well, it was very sweet and candy tasting, and that was like the candy you eat at the movies, That was my idea, and it turned out to be quite delicious. More than the look of it, but that can't do the same thing. I have to come up with an entirely new idea for Universal Monsters this time, and I was thinking, what should I do? Part of the problem is each of the different monsters are so different from each other. If it was just Dracula, I'd think of something bloody, something red, and if it was Frankenstein, maybe something bright green and shocking, like electricity. The Wolfman, maybe something to do with the moon, or hair of the dog that bit you. That's what you have after you get drunk. The next morning, of course, the hairy dog. No, I was trying to figure, silver bullet, maybe some sort of silver tequila. But no, this has to incorporate all of them. What do they all have in common, aside from being in black and white? And I was thinking about it, and suddenly something occurred to me. Even though they're set in different parts of the world, whether it's a sort of fictitious Transylvania, which is Romania, or it's a weird part of Germany. In the book, Frankenstein was in Switzerland, but we always think of it as somewhere in Germany from the movies. The creature was down in Brazil, and the Wolfman was actually in Wales, of all places. Yes, but and of course the mummy is in Egypt, where it's hot and sunny all the time. No, what could I? The desert, the sand dunes, the pyramids. What could I come up with to encompass the whole wonderful world of Universal Monsters? And I was thinking about it, and I suddenly remembered that the Hammer films, which are inspired by the Universal films, some of them were released by Universal, many by Warner's, but the Hammer films of the 50s and 60s, I once remember reading some film critic refer to them as thunder and ketchup movies, which was kind of cute, but then the thunder part stuck with me, of course, because all of these movies have in common, especially if I look out the window and we're having some storms, is stormy weather, lightning and thunder. Of course, it's the lightning that brought Frankenstein to life in the first place, and you always have this thunder and lightning and scary weather in all of these movies, pretty much. Well, there were clear skies, so you could see a lovely full moon in the Wolfman, but still, you associate that kind of thunder and lightning with the spooky world of the Universal monsters, and the monsters in their house where it's always storming and lightning outside, even when it's sunny on the other side of the street. You know? Yes. As all those ooky spooky characters on television when there was a flash and a boom went, oh, thunder. Ah, yes, they love that. It's the sort of weather the spooky people are into. Yes. So, that's exactly what I need. Something to deal with that. And then I remembered a very famous literary cliché, an opening line for a not very good novel that goes, "It was a dark and stormy night." Yes, it's a bit of a cliché, but it does describe almost every Universal classic monster movie. Exactly. They tend to happen on dark and stormy nights, and oh hell, I've got it. There's a cocktail that's called the Dark and Stormy. So a variation on that would be the perfect choice for Universal classic monsters. The Dark and Stormy, but the regular Dark and Stormy consists of ginger beer and rum, specifically a dark rum. And the brand that's most strongly associated, I think the one that was originally used, was Gosling's. No connection to Ryan Gosling. But it has a black seal on it, literally. You know, like seal, not like, you know, put your ring into the wax and seal something. No, we're talking about the kind that swim in the water and balance things on their nose like rubber balls, or in this case, a cask of rum. So the Gosling's black Bermuda rum is what's normally used. That's what makes it dark. What makes it stormy is the effervescent fizzy drink known as ginger beer, which Gosling also makes. And these two were combined in Bermuda to create this drink, which I believe is native to Bermuda, with a little bit of lime. Oh, you must forgive me, my cocktail aficionados out there. You know who you are. Sean, Brad, and others. The fellow who uses a polar bear as an alias on Twitter. I think his name is John, actually. Or is it? It's a J name. But at any rate, Shuck is what we call him. Shuck is his last name. All these lovely people, all these lovely drunks who form the Poor Judgment crew and tend to hang out at Universal and have some inebriations together in other places. They were just recently, a lot of them were playing with James Keaton, Jack himself, over at in that new Star Wars land. I saw all sorts of pictures they posted and videos on the internet of various cantinas and bars that they could drink alcoholic green and purple, green and blue milk. So they're having fun with that, I guess. But they don't just go to Universal, but of course they do go to Universal, and I tend to see them when I'm out and about. And they're fans of my cocktail video. I must apologize. Please forgive me. I did not stock up on limes. I have no fresh limes in the house, so I can't cut a little bit of lime and add it to the cocktail, as there should be in a dark and stormy. I can't even make a proper gin and tonic. Oh, I'm ashamed. Forgive me, Lord Dionysus. Forgive me, all my friendly drunks. Please do not think ill of me for not having got the limes last time I went to the Publix. I'll get them next time. But that reminds me, of course, I thought I had everything on my desk to make my cocktail, but I need the substitute for the fresh lime. I'll be right back. Yes, I'm so ashamed. It's one of those damn green plastic bottles. Oh. for the interruption. I'm sorry I had to leave the camera. Will I ever make a video where I don't have to go off and leave you staring at my Venetian blinds? Or whatever you might call those. One of these awful things. I apologize for that abomination. Oh, but I don't happen to have any fresh limes today. But just a regular dark and stormy wouldn't do. It has to be one for the universal monsters. Therefore, it has to be a darker and stormier. So I have that in mind. Well, to begin then, I start as you normally would, with a tall glass of ice. And then we need our lovely rum, as I pointed out before, Gosling's Bermuda Black Rum. Yes, good stuff, this. Ah, that wonderful molasses-like odor of really good dark rum. And I pour that, let me lift it up so you can see it going in, just enough. And then put that into the glass. And this time, here we are, this time I brought these with me in advance, knowing that I'd have to take care so my desk doesn't get all sticky. And when I do something on my computer or pay my bills, they won't be all sticky and smell like booze, because then my debtors will get this and say, well, he paid up, but damn, this smells like booze. He must be drunk. They're so judgy. Oh, do I need a spoon? Probably not. I don't think I need to stir it that much. Then, of course, well, before the next would normally be the ginger beer and then the lime. But I need to make this darker and stormier. What ingredient would make the cocktail both darker and stormier? Thinking about it, it took me all of 5 seconds to realize there were 2 possibilities: Black Sambuca and Jägermeister. And Black Sambuca is just not right. It wouldn't match the flavors. That powerful, that's like black licorice. No, that wouldn't work. Like the anise flavor. Instead, not in this cocktail, instead it would be the Jägermeister. That would blend a little better and just make it a bit crazier. I do use it a lot, but you know, it's a good ingredient. And I shall put some of that into here as well. And so pour that into this tor. Now it's already darker, already stormier. Yes. And because I don't have any fresh limes, well, I'll wait to the end for that. Now, it's still quite a lot of liquor in there. Usually it's only a little about to here, and then the rest is ginger beer. So this is going to be a little not so much ginger beer. It's much darker and stormier than your average dark and stormy. So the ginger beer, which is not alcoholic at all, I believe, I don't think is... it's a fizzy drink. It's a soda pop. If you're in Georgia, you'd say it was a Coke, because they call everything Coke in Georgia. They almost call beer Coke. Well, they don't. No, they don't call beer Coke, but they call almost every other carbonated beverage. You know, you have an orange Fanta, they call it a Coke. You have a 7-Up, you call it a Coke. It's kind of creepy. Be careful when you order your soda pops. Or in the Midwest, they say pop. In California, they say soda. That's sort of what I was taught in Hawaii, soda. Sometimes you combine it. In Britain, they call them fizzy drinks. They call them other things in other parts of the country, or other countries. But we're talking about soft drinks, and that's what ginger beer is. It's a little stronger than ginger ale. It's good ginger flavor, but it's not actually beer. And I don't think there's any alcohol in it at all. No, there's not. Just double checking in case I was wrong. No, it's not that sort of thing. So we put the ginger beer, and it starts to fizz up in a bit more. But you see, it would be more translucent if it was a proper dark and stormy, because it wouldn't have as much liquor in it. So it's going to be a little more intoxicating with all that Jägermeister. Because remember, this is larger than your normal shot. I don't stint on my cocktails. And then, because I don't have any, a slice of fresh lime squeezed in would be best, but I don't have that today. So I'm just going to use this squirt, squirt, and get some lime juice in there instead. And I don't have the spoon. That should be good enough. That is good. It is rather like a dark and stormy, of course, with the ginger and the rum, but the Jägermeister gives it a strange edge. And weirdly enough, even though there's so much alcohol in there, I can't quite tell. It doesn't taste quite as strong as it is, so you could get in real trouble with this one. One of those drinks where you can quaff it down, saying, "Oh, there's not much in here," and the next thing you know, you're on the floor, like Dracula waiting for the sun to go down so you can get up again. That works lovely. And as you drink it down a bit, you can pour in more ginger beer. There we go. Because what are you going to do with the rest of it in can? Might as well pour it in as you drink down. Oh, now, it's already been nearly a half hour. I will not consume this entire cocktail on this video. It's also 6:45, and I'm going to have to make some dinner for myself. And some programs I wish to see on telly tonight, and other things as well. So that will be tonight's cocktail video, and hopefully, before I make a cocktail video again for you tomorrow night, which I do hope to do, I might be able to make another one during the day, or maybe two. I don't know, that I can't guarantee that, but I have to catch up on all the announcements. And there's been several, as I mentioned in the previous video, announcements for Japan, Orlando, Hollywood, and Singapore, and God knows there could be another one any moment. Because the event begins in 5 weeks. 6 weeks for Hollywood, 8 weeks for Singapore. Japan, 5 weeks and 1 day. So it's getting very close to our wonderful horror nights. Yes, it all starts next month. I love saying that. After waiting and waiting, we can now say it's only next month. And by next Tuesday, it will be a month. And next Wednesday, it'll be less than a month. So joy. So I hope to get some more videos in during the day, and of course eventually get back to my history videos for Halloween Horror Nights 25 as well. I'd like to get a few more of those done and maybe get to 26. I don't know. But tomorrow at this time I hope to be able to present the 4th house cocktail for this year, which is inspired from the 4th announced haunted house in Orlando, Depths of Fear. There's something fishy about that cocktail. But I have to procure one vital ingredient, and I haven't been able to locate it locally just yet. So I may have to go shopping tomorrow afternoon. And if I am able to find what I hope to find, I can present the lovely video. So if you don't see me here tomorrow night, it's probably because I haven't found what I'm looking for yet. But hopefully that will happen very soon. So until then, here's blood in your eye. The usual disclaimers. If you are under the age of 21, do not drink my cocktail. If you are 21 or older, you may drink my cocktails, but only responsibly. do not operate motor cars or mechanical instruments like chainsaws or power drills or dentist drills while under the influence of alcohol. You can operate them under the influence of methamphetamines, that's fine. No. I do not advocate any sort of naughty pills. That was a silly joke. No, but in all this, of course, because we want everyone to remain safe and not sane, safe and alive to enjoy Horror Nights in 5 weeks. Sanity, that's optional. So, I bid you good night. Oh my, it's lighting. It's just, I'm not used to being seen so well. I hope it isn't offensive to you, because you can see all kinds of stuff that perhaps was best hidden. Like, oh damn, I didn't shave. Maybe I need to shave more. Maybe put on a bit of makeup so that wash my hair or something. So I'm more presentable in these videos now that you can see me more clearly. Oh well. But at any rate, I bid you all a fond good night, sleep well, and at the very least, about 24 hours, hopefully, we'll have another cocktail. Ta-ta.